If you've ever said to yourself, my teenager hates me, you're probably not alone. Wrestling with how to parent your teen while still maintaining a friendship with them is tough stuff. We have our own ideas as parents of what's cool and probably aren't on the same page with style or lingo. Hi, I'm Kia Kisthart. I work here on staff at Calvary, and I've been attending worship here for almost 6 years.
Hi, my name is Easton. I'm a sophomore in high school, and here at Calvary, I've been involved in VBS, Impact, Elevate, and just started my first year of VetPick.
Easton and I are mother and son, obviously, but I can honestly say that I consider Easton one of my very close friends. I appreciate his humor, I respect his character, and although I may be a little biased, I think he's all around a pretty great guy.
Even though my mom and I are friends now, I can remember at least a time or two growing up when we didn't see eye to eye. That being said, it has been through those times that we've learned the most about how to relate to each other.
Teenagers are complex creatures. Their communication is mostly in grumbles or simple requests like, "What's for supper?" or "Can I go to the soccer game with my friends?" It's hard as they grow up, and you find yourself wanting to parent them to death. Throughout the years, I've discovered something pretty profound. The more I let go of Easton and prayed to God, the more Easton gravitated back towards me. He started initiating conversations and all around became a more enjoyable person to spend time with. I felt like that realization was a pinnacle moment in building a friendship with my teenager. We don't have all the answers, but we do have some recommendations that we'd like to share with you today, and maybe it will bring some clarity on how to develop and maintain a friendship with your teen. I promise you, it's not too late.
First of all, in all relationships, one of the most important things is to spend time together. But forced family time is not always my first choice. It's best to find things that you and your teen can both enjoy. And sometimes this means getting a little creative.
For example, Easton started hockey at a very young age, and for years I attended games simply out of parental obligation. We've all been there, right? But over time, I actually grew to love hockey because Easton did. And I also realized that if I put a game on the TV, Easton would almost always meander out of his bedroom and find his way beside me on the couch. He didn't know it, but that time together was so important to our relationship.
And even though I don't play anymore, as a family, we still enjoy watching the Minnesota Wild and will go to any Cardinal hockey games that we can.
Secondly, I understand that there aren't many things more important to Easton than his friendships, and that's normal for a teenager. The friendships that he has at his age are so pivotal to his development, and it's important to help him understand that making time for those relationships is always a good idea. It's a priority of mine as a parent to make sure my house is open and inviting to all of the friends all of the time.
Whenever I hang out with my friends, it usually ends with someone spending the night somewhere. I can always feel confident that my house is a safe and welcoming place for my friends to hang out, whether it be the possible activities, the never-ending snacks, or the welcoming environment. My friends always feel comfortable and relaxed. My mom knows how important my friends are to me, and the fact that she tries to make sure they feel comfortable means a lot.
Connection is also really important. As a mom, I feel the most connected when I know what's going on. It's important to me that I remind Easton that I'm available to talk and to encourage him to come to me with anything that's on his mind. Whether he's celebrating accomplishments or working through some challenges, it's important to establish an open line of communication. And of course, for moms or dads, it seems natural to assume that the car ride home from school would be the perfect time for conversation.
But being in high school means that I usually have a lot going on during the day. When you're in sports and social activities, it can get overwhelming. The last thing I want to do when my mom picks me up is answer questions or have conversations.
And it took me a while to not feel rejected when he would shut me down on the car ride home from school. But over time, I came to realize that just because he didn't want to talk right now didn't mean that he didn't want to talk at all. So the place that works best for us to connect and have conversations is at the dinner table. Sometimes I have specific things I'd like to talk about, but mostly it's just about giving everyone the air to open up.
Let's be honest, everyone's a little less stressed with food on their plate. The point is to make sure you're paying attention to your teen's world, and when they do open up, make sure you listen.
And make sure you listen not just with your ears, but open up your heart. Be patient when they struggle to find the right words or seem hesitant to open up. By doing so, an environment of trust is created, and they'll be reassured that their thoughts and their feelings are valued. Last, and probably most importantly, we all want the best for our children, right? I've been Easton's mom his whole life, and I know what he's capable of. That being said, it's really important to have him be the main player in the game of expectations. Now, I expect the standard things from him, of course, always be kind, respectful to teachers, coaches, etc., and to be honest, those are a given. But when it comes to achievement, that's a different story. My expectations shouldn't hold more weight than his, and if I expect A's in high school and he doesn't, both of us end up frustrated. So I try to always have a very open and honest conversation about expectations going into a new year or a new chapter of life. This allows him to recognize that I understand everyone has limits, even him. I don't care that he's always gotten good grades or he's always been on the hockey team. Maybe this year is different. Maybe this day is different. It's important for me to reassure him that no matter what, I'm on his side and that I would support him either way. If we disagree, I encourage him to look at it from a different perspective, but in the end, if he's convicted, I'll stand aside and cheer him on, and then I pray. It's as simple as that.
I'm in high school, and with that comes certain freedoms that are hard for parents as I step into the world of relationships, driving, and later curfews. It's important to me that my mom recognizes the fact that I have shown I can be trusted. It's also an expectation of mine that she understands that these situations are new to me, and sometimes having a plan B can help me feel confident in making the right decisions. One last thing. Over the years, there has been one very big thing that we committed to doing together that has been pivotal for our developing of friendship.
Calvary Worship gives us a way to come together and put aside all the static, focus on the things we can be thankful for. When we've had a disagreement or aren't really understanding each other very well, worship has a tendency to just kind of melt all those feelings away. When we started worshiping together, we were both pretty awkward and not sure how to act. I was just as early in my faith as Easton, and it wasn't comfortable. But for a while, I was basically dragging Easton to church. Eventually it got better. The awkwardness went away, and we realized that we just enjoyed this time together. At least for me, it was pretty refreshing and always fulfilling.
And I have had a ton of friends that attend Calvary. Together, we've done Bible studies, volunteered, and deepened our friendship and our faith. When talking about relationships with our friends or our parents, there's a verse that comes to mind. Corinthians 10:24. It reads, "No one should seek their own good, but the good of others."
Now, we know that teens, parents, and even friends can be frustrating sometimes. But if you think about the connection long term, the verse that Easton just read can be a good one to live by. We are here to tell you that parents and teens developing a friendship would be a lifelong gift to themselves and to each other. Just as we cherish the friends who have stood by us, let's be the companions our children can lean on.
Remember, the friendships you build with us today will have an impact on the friendships we form in the future. So be the role models, the confidence, and the friends we know we can count on.